I've loved every minute of it because she does tell the tales so beautifully. And I get emotional because I find part of me in them and part of people, lovely people that I know. So thank you, they're really great. And I just love to see this place filled watching you because I know that everyone will get such enjoyment out of the day.
The droughts and the pouring rains, I was lucky to be born here. Others come here to be free, fleeing horrors of war and ruin, migrant and a refugee. And I remember this particular morning with Dad holding me and Mum attempting to get me to take my castor oil mixed with orange juice. I was bawling my eyes out, and in the end, out of frustration I suppose, my father said to me, "Well, will you have a belting or take your castor oil?" And I remember saying, "I'll take a belting." Well, that broke them up, and I didn't have to take it that time. Well, over the years we had some dreadful horses. I remember once our horse got stung by a bee while we were crossing over a bridge, and it shot off out of its traces and just left the sulky with us sitting in it.
And then, as Mulga Bill let out one last despairing shriek, it gave a leap of 20 feet into the dead man's creek.
Tuesdays was comic day. There was Ginger Meggs, Humour, the Phantom and Buck Rogers. But he was a good dancer, as he had accompanied 13 Debs as a partner.
Well, I didn't think much because he kept singing while we were dancing, and he was singing the desert song, "Into Your Tent Old Creek" or something. I thought, likely.
I can remember making a lemon tart, and the shearers would say that it was the most beautiful thing they had ever tasted. I remember Paul telling me once that when the shearers knew that I was heading across to the sheds with their meals, they would shout to each other, "Ducks on the pond!" This was a warning called by the shearers when ladies were around to watch their language.
The ladies are coming, the super said, to the shearers sweltering there. And the ladies means in a shearing shed, don't cut 'em too bad and don't swear.
I was 60 when I started up the Pit 4 Homestead Restaurant. Never in my life did I imagine that I would ever run a restaurant. Sometimes we had small functions with guest singers and poets and one-act plays. One evening in our restaurant, Noel Stollard, bush poet, entertainer and reciter of John O'Brien poetry, gave a terrific concert.
The bishop sat in lordly state and purple cap sublime and galvanised the old bush church at confirmation time. And all the kids were mustered up from 50 miles around with Sunday clothes and staring eyes and ignorance profound.
Finally, there was a selection of temptations from our dessert trolley. All the diners would crowd around my dessert trolley and I would personally serve them. There was always a large pavlova, topped with crushed pineapple, sliced kiwi fruit, strawberries and banana, finished off with fresh passion fruit, liberally drizzled over the top. And my chocolate roll was also very popular. I would spread raspberry jam and whipped cream on the underside of a thin chocolate sponge. I would then carefully roll the cake using a damp tea towel. The cake would then be topped with chocolate and coffee icing and spiked with roasted almonds. I went to a talk in the hall with the seats all going down to the stage. And on this night was Bug Tingwell, and he said, "It's a funny thing that for all of my life I have really not planned it. Things have happened. Some idea has come from something else. That has been the story of my life."
Well have we held our Father's creed, no call has passed us by. We faced and fought the wilderness, we sent our sons to die. And we have hearts to do and dare, and yet over all the rest, the hearts that made the nation were the women of the West.
And I remember having to take the little coupons from the Second World War, and woe betide me if I lost a tea coupon or something, because, you know, and all these little things that you bring back for us that we've forgotten. And it's right, you should tell stories, and we should tell stories. But it was wonderful, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, both of you. It was wonderful. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.